In a world that never stops talking, the man who masters silence holds all the cards. While everyone fights to be heard, to be seen, to be validated by the noise of others, there exists a different path. A path walked by kings, philosophers, and those who shaped history not with their words, but with their restraint. Today, we explore why silence isn't empty space, it's concentrated power. And why the man who learns to hold his tongue learns to hold the world. Ask yourself this: when did you last go an entire day without explaining yourself to someone? Without defending your choices, justifying your actions, or seeking approval for your decisions? Most people are addicted to explanation. They spill their thoughts like water from a broken dam, believing that more words equal more understanding. But here's what they don't realize: every word you speak is information you give away. Every explanation is a piece of your strategy handed to your opponents. The masses live in constant chatter because silence terrifies them. It forces them to confront the emptiness of their own minds. So they fill the void with opinions, gossip, and endless commentary on things that don't matter. They mistake volume for wisdom, noise for substance. But the truly powerful understand that silence is not the absence of communication, it's the mastery of it. Throughout history, the most influential figures shared one trait: they were mysteries wrapped in calm confidence. They spoke only when their words carried weight. They revealed only what served their purpose. They understood that mystique is magnetic, and explanation is ordinary. When you constantly explain yourself, you diminish yourself. You become predictable. You hand others the blueprint to your mind, making yourself easy to manipulate, easy to counter, easy to defeat. But the silent man, he is in a locked vault. Others can only guess at his thoughts, his plans, his next move. This uncertainty creates respect, sometimes fear, always attention. Because humans are drawn to what they cannot fully understand. Think of the most powerful people you know. Do they justify every decision? Do they explain their reasoning to everyone who asks? Or do they simply act, with quiet certainty, leaving others to wonder at the depth behind their choices? Silence is not passivity, it's strategy. When you speak less, others speak more. When you reveal less, they reveal more. When you hold back, they lean forward, often exposing their weaknesses, their desires, their fears. The silent observer sees what the constant talker misses. He notices the subtle changes in tone, the hesitations, the contradictions. He collects information while others waste it. He builds understanding while others build noise. Every conversation becomes a chess match where silence is your most powerful piece. Not the dramatic pause for effect, but the genuine restraint that comes from knowing your words have value and choosing when to spend that value wisely. Look around you. People are exhausted from the constant need to perform, to comment, to have an opinion on everything. They're trapped in an endless cycle of reaction, never getting ahead because they're always responding to what's already happened. Social media has made this worse. Everyone feels compelled to broadcast their thoughts, their meals, their emotions, their politics. They live their lives as public performances, seeking validation through likes, shares, and comments from strangers who don't matter. But what if you stepped off that stage? What if you stopped performing and started observing? What if instead of adding to the noise, you became the space between the notes and the pause that gives music its meaning? True silence requires discipline. It means resisting the urge to correct every wrong opinion you hear. It means not defending yourself against every criticism. It means watching fools make fools of themselves without pointing out their foolishness. This is not a weakness, it's supreme confidence. The secure man doesn't need to prove his intelligence in every conversation. The powerful man doesn't need to assert his authority in every room. The wise man doesn't need to correct every error he encounters. When you master this discipline, something profound happens. You stop being reactive and become responsive. You stop being at the mercy of others' words and start being the master of your own. You develop what ancient philosophers called inner authority, the quiet certainty that needs no external validation. There's something magnetic about a person who doesn't feel the need to fill every silence. Others are drawn to them, wondering what they're thinking, what they know, what they've learned that others haven't. Silence creates space for others to project their own thoughts, hopes, and fears. It becomes a mirror that reflects back what others bring to it. The nervous see wisdom. The guilty see judgment. The weak see strength. And all of them remember the encounter long after words would have been forgotten. This is why the most memorable people often say the least. They understand that presence speaks louder than words, that confidence needs no announcement, that true power whispers. While the world becomes increasingly loud, increasingly frantic, increasingly desperate to be heard, you can choose a different path. You can become part of a silent revolution, not a movement with banners and slogans, but a personal transformation that makes you immune to the chaos around you. This revolution begins the moment you realize you don't need to defend every position, explain every choice, or justify every action. It grows stronger each time you choose observation over reaction, reflection over response, mystery over explanation. The ancient masters knew what modern men has forgotten, that the one who controls the flow of information controls the flow of power. And information flows from the one who speaks to the one who listens. So while others exhaust themselves in endless chatter, you can build your strength in strategic silence. While they drain their power through constant explanation, you can concentrate yours through careful reserve. The world is full of noise. Be the silence that gives it meaning. Be the pause that creates anticipation. Be the mystery that commands respect. Because in the end, the man who masters silence doesn't just learn to control his words, he learns to control his world.